1, 2, 3. Tag me in podcast.
Okay, no. Tag Me In podcast, back again with another episode. You are joined by yours truly, Ola.
Yours truly, Anton. So I took offense
No,
about yours truly.
Yeah,
Got the presence of Ola in the house.
that is right.
Sorry, Your Highness.
And today we're looking at sort of navigating the sort of working environments, navigating the office.
I thought you were talking about navigating just the outside, the world out there.
No, not the-
I see you got a lion behind you. So.
Yeah, no, I've just got to keep wary of the lion. You might just, jump. I've got to just stay on my tippy toes, as you sometimes have to do in the office.
Okay.
Or sort of in your working environment.
You got to be on guard.
You just not necessarily on guard, but you need to be on point, I'd say, in terms of the way you kind of present yourself. Like when I'm at home, I'm a bit slouched. I'm wearing my comfortable jammies. I'm just, I'm chilling. I'm burping. I'm scratching.
You don't do that at work?
No. What? Wait, do you?
What? Scratch myself?
Yeah. Scratch, burp.
If I've got an itch on the side of my head, then yeah.
But
what else am I
I'm
doing?
thinking about another area, but like just general kind of like habits you do at home. Like, just like all scratching and then all like...
Things you won't do in public?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sort of
so
thing.
you got your professional face.
That kind of like professional, but...
persona, this is who I am, but
yeah,
as soon as I get home,
it's a different
Ola.
But it's funny because like I spoke to people and some people say it's fake, and I'm like, I wouldn't necessarily class it as fake. I think it's just being professional in a professional environment. In your home, that's the thing. In your home, it's behind closed doors. It's your environment. It's your kind of domain. Whereas at work, it's like a shared environment. So you don't necessarily have the right to just behave and act the way you want to behave. But again, like it's to a certain degree of like just kind of like acting like an animal or doing whatever people do.
I guess it all depends on what sort of work environment you're in. If you're in a kind of business, you're client facing, then you're going to have that kind of professional persona about you. You're going to have to speak in a certain way.
Yeah.
You've got to know how to code switch. You can't be like, hey, bruv, come over here, man. Let me tell you about this new product that we're currently doing.
Obviously, buy 10 copies. What do you mean, no, man? Ring the ting, man.
But yeah, it's down to appearance. And I guess like going into the workplace, especially when I first started, I had to conform and I had to play up to that role. Because there is that element of performing, and I think that's why people have some issue, because they're like, why should I change?
Yeah. Yeah, that was me in the beginning. Did you understand it when you first got into work? Because it took me a while to kind of clock that. Why is everyone... I'm like, you don't move like this outside of work. What's going on? So it took me a while to really understand why people kind of acted the way they did and behaved in a certain way in and outside the office. But I think a lot of it does come down to kind of that professional image. If you need to convey the best version of yourself at work for these 8-9 hours, 10, 12 hours.
That's a drain.
Many hours. It is a drain, but remember, it's not a complete change. You're not completely changing you as a person. It's not like you're changing your personality. It's you're just kind of dumbing down certain parts, or you're kind of elevating other parts to just give that professional, polished look. Just we're at work, we have work to do. And it's the same. It even took me a while with emails, because when I first started, I'd literally email in no fairness, they were my colleagues, so I'd be like, fam. I swear, there was one like
you had that street mentality.
I emailed Jack or White, I was like, fam, blah, blah, blah. I was asking him for lunch or whatever. Then he like replied or whatever. Then I remember we were speaking. He was like, I can't believe you just use that in like a work setting. And I was like, what? For me, it was like, what? I haven't emailed the CEO. Like, yo, fam, what's the number saying?
Yeah.
I emailed a colleague. What are you doing for lunch? We speak like this on a standard regular. Why do we have to kind of... Yeah, but I guess I didn't really... For me, it was like, Again, it was that aspect of why do I have to change myself? This is me. Why am I going to dumb myself down or kind of hide that aspect of me because of work?
So did you change that?
It's not so much I changed it. I just
got replying.
I guess
or sending messages to Jack and be like,
it's not
good afternoon, Jack.
Yeah, I just went from fam, what are you saying for lunch to good afternoon, Jack. I just wanted to know what you had decided on. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because you and Jack's got that kind of level of. I don't know, you guys spoke in that kind of manner when you saw each other. So why is it different when you're sending emails?
I think there's that element of, and I think this happens in most workplaces where sometimes emails are monitored, or you believe they can be monitored. So again, it's just that kind of polished kind of image. Because imagine if like a manager or whoever sees that and it's like, what does this fan mean? What does this word mean?
But it's not going external. It's not going to anyone else. So
it's internal. But yeah, it's just kind of like having to kind of play it safe and just being careful. Then you've got other like general aspects of just coming in on time, being courteous. Rah.
So
Why you crack up?
no reason.
Coming in on time. Why are you laughing, man? Being courteous. Have you got a situation where you're like mad late or something?
No, it's just I'm very lucky in terms of my work schedule. So I get to choose what time I go in. So I get to choose what time. So like this morning I started work at 6:57. And then I decided to log off at 3:30. Like I'm very flexible. So even if I go into the office, it could be 7:38.
Yeah.
It could be 9 o'clock. It could be 9:10. So like that's why I laughed, because it wasn't like a. It was more me thinking if I actually had a fixed time, I'd be late all the time.
Yeah.
That's what the laugh was about.
I like your flexibility. We have a slight. Like ours is like 1 or 2 hours before and after 9. And I usually come in for like 7:30, 8:30. But yeah, no, that's some serious 6 a.m.
But the truth is, when I did first start, so my background, cybersecurity, used to work in the security operations center. We used to do 12-hour shifts. So I had to be there in time to do a handover with the other person. Yeah. So I had to be there at 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. whatever time we were starting. Yeah. So yeah, that is the element. So you do have to carry yourself in a professional manner, like you were saying. So the appearance, the way you look. Yeah. The way you present yourself, the way you act in the kind of work environment. Like, I guess in the first 2 years, was you just sort of, how long have you been in your role now?
It's 2.5 now.
So like when you first started, let's say the first 6 months, was you kind of being that social being, and when they invited you out, was you like, yeah, I'm there?
I was so kind of classic work environment. Every Friday night after work, down the pub or whatever, we'd just go picture and piano or bar. And it would just be drinks and whatever, then wherever else. But then, after I was just like, yeah. I think I just kind of, I didn't really see the point. So to a certain degree, I could see and I observed this sort of social aspect of those who are going out with managers, are becoming supervisors. But I didn't really like that. For me, it's if you want a position, you should be rewarded that position based on your merit, based on your work ethic, as opposed to you had a couple more drinks and made the manager laugh a bit more at 10 p.m. in the bar. Because it kind of, for me, it's like you eliminate the people who are actually really good at their jobs, but may not be the best socially. So what I kind of observed in one department was that a lot of the people who are managers and supervisors were all really chummy. Yeah. They had a little clique, which they still have now. They're all like really cool. And I was like, in all fairness, I was kind of, in the beginning I was part of it, but I was like, if I get that position, I want to get it because Ola's hardworking, because I'm always getting top 10 in the stats, because I deserve it, as opposed to me and my man was going for a drink and he invites me out.
So I guess in that sense, if there's another promotion coming out, are you not going to use that to your advantage? Are you not going to try and jump into that social circle to give you that added benefit?
That's where, and this is maybe just me, that's where I'm different. I know a lot of people would just be like, F it, I'm going to do it. But for me, I'm like, you didn't earn it.
You did earn it.
But by what? By being chummy with them? No, that's not really, you should be, again, this is for me, if you're given that promotion, it should be based on work ethic, primarily. I do get the social aspect. They want to work with people they get along with. No one wants to be with that weird person who's really weird or annoying or whatever. I get that, but at the same time, for me, bottom line should be quality of work as opposed to friendship. But I can kind of see it, because when I go into these departments, is you are spending 8 hours plus with this person a day, even more so a week. So you want to make sure that I can get why you'd want to have work with someone who was fun and enjoyable and kind of gets you. So from that point, I'm like, okay, I get it. But if I was like the CEO, I'll choose the quality over your fun. Whatever. You're coming for fun.
But I guess is it an advantage if you have the skills, the qualities, and also you're seen as a person that's sociable?
That's like a really sort of powerful position to be in. Very powerful.
So I guess in that sense, because there are people like that, like not everyone gets into these positions based because they're good friends with the boss or whatever. They actually got the qualities, and they get the opportunities because they be speaking to Cliff or Richard,
the right person,
on a Friday, and they'll be like, this position is opening up, you should definitely go for it.
Go for that golf match on the Saturday, Sunday. Then
I wouldn't go that far. So like, I guess knowing that when you first started this job, and you was doing the social aspect of it, if you went into another role, into a different company, would you still have that first 3-6 months of you being out and being social with them, or would you just go into it differently?
I think for me now, in hindsight, I'd probably still maintain that element of the social aspect of kind of going out, getting to know people, who gets along, what departments get along really well, who doesn't get along, and understanding. Because I just think it's just important to have it. Like I've learned, okay, yeah, fair enough. I would prefer to get a job based on merit, based on hard work, but that social can kind of speed up that process. What might take me a year and a half to get promoted with those social aspects, it can be done in 9-10 months. Why am I wasting those months when I could be, So for me, it's just about realizing and like, yeah, if there was a new job, new company, I'd definitely kind of take that chance again and like just really kind of drill it down. But yeah, I guess I don't know. I think that's sort of me. How would you say you've been like promoted? Has it been based on merit? Has it been based on that social aspect?
I think it's literally based on merit, but it's also based on the fact that I kind of made sure I shine brighter than others.
Yeah.
So there was times, especially in the first 2 years, I was grinding. I was doing all these extra like certification qualifications, and it's always something that was always within me because even when I was in uni, I was doing certifications on top of my degree, and that's why I went into a senior role. But then I realised how much there was like a big gap between my knowledge when I first started the job and then what other people were. The people who were there for like 5 years. And then once I got into the role, I realised it wasn't that much of a gap. And I started learning. I was like, actually, I can actually like step over these people, not in a disrespectful way, but if I push myself a little bit harder, if I stay behind 2 hours each day and I show and I demonstrate, and I send out an email, you start being tactical in it. You send out an email right before you leave, 5:59, should have left the place at 4, and someone sees that, they're like, yo, you was there late. You're like, yeah, had this, I was doing this, and you was actually doing something, or you might have just been on the phone for an extra half an hour talking to your friend. Or you was typing that email, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna send that email now. So like, for me, I went on like some course, and it was like stress less, achieve more. So they called it SLAM, and like one of the golden rules they gave me was organising your mailbox, because I get stupid amount of emails, but I was just getting overwhelmed by them. I was just like, why are there so many emails coming in? And the mailbox kind of structure of it is you have a folder for emails that you need to read. So as they come in, you go, yep, I need to read that. You don't read it then and there. You just organise it. You have a folder for CC. So any emails that you've been CC'd in and you're not in that to box, it's not for you. It's just guff, it's just noise. So everything that's CC goes straight into there. There's one called Death Row where it's like, I'll come back to, is it important? You ask that question. Is it important? No. Does it need to go into my delete box? Not quite yet, but it sits there in Death Row. And then there's another box called Evidence. And whenever I got feedback, whenever I did something that I felt, yeah, this is worth shouting about, I would put it in the evidence box. So every time it came to appraisal, I was sitting there in appraisal like, I've done this. This is, and I used to hound like my managers for objectives and what's the team's aim, what are we trying to do, because that's how I'll map how well I'm doing. So I'll be like, all right, you're aiming for this, I've done this, I've exceeded this, and this is my evidence, because that evidence box was there for time. So that's how my promotions came about. But also there was some that I just went for, and I just used my historic kind of credentials, putting myself out there, taking challenges and being like, shit, I'm scared.
That's so smart. I really like the kind of like evidence aspect of it, and because I think I've kind of noticed that with myself and others is that you get so many emails. I'm like, I'll check it out later. Come back like Monday morning. There's like 500, however many like emails, especially after a holiday, and I'm just like, and it's just there. And I'm like, there's no. Now I have got folders, but before there was just like no structure to it. It was just all these emails. I'm like, I don't have time to do this, but I really like that kind of like evidence for it. That's such a smart idea.
You just got to realise not every email that comes like through your mailbox is important. And although people might be hounding you, if they really want it, they'll call you.
Yeah, or they'll just come to you straight.
It's just as simple as that. Like one guy I mentioned, because my team's kind of changed. One guy I mentioned, he was like, the dynamics within EE, because it's like a merger between BT and EE. He's like, he's from BT. He's like, the dynamics in EE is slightly different to us. Like, I'm not used to not getting email response. I'm like, because people got other stuff to do. Like, I'm not sitting in front of my...
Waiting for an email from you,
Yeah, and it's not... If I get an email, there's only 3 times I check it. Morning, lunchtime, evening. Maybe 2, 3 o'clock.
Mine even said lunchtime.
After lunch.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, shit, what have I missed? Nothing.
Nah.
Cool. So, yeah. But when I first started, definitely I played that game. Yeah. I think it is playing the game, getting to know people. Even when I went in for the role, I was strategic in terms of finding out about the person who's like going to actually interview me. Yeah. And I went on his LinkedIn and found out his interest, and his interest was in watches. I was like, alright, cool. His interest in football, alright, cool. So even when we were going up the elevator, I was like, that's a nice watch, you know? Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, this went off. I'm like, oh, yeah, man, yeah, hopefully when I get back to London, probably going to watch like the football. Oh, yeah, football? Yeah. What team is football? Oh, you play as well? Yeah.
Is that tactical good or bad? Because in a way, you've kind of like, you've used that to your advantage. I guess obviously got the job amazing, but then at the same time, there's that aspect of you kind of had to snoop and kind of look through personal information, or were you just like, you know what, I wanted this, I'm going to do what it takes to get it. Boom. Because I'm not going to lie, I think I could kind of see myself doing that sort of thing. Oh yeah, I can't wait for the weekend. The match is on. Oh, you watched the match as well? Oh yeah, you support Arsenal as well? Oh.
To be fair, I had interest in them. I think it would have been a bit weird if I didn't. Yeah. If I was just like, yeah, football, yeah.
What team do you support? The blue one?
Chelsea City? Arsenal United? What? So yeah, but especially when I first started, especially in my placement year, in fact, I was actually excited to wear a suit. I was so gassed. Like, from a guy that was in uni to wearing a suit in Canary Wharf, I was like, yes! Yeah. I remember I had my friend, we went, I think we went Next, and I got my first suit, like, kind of like work suit. She was like, yeah, you look good. I was like, yeah, I know. Walked into Canary Wharf, everyone's wearing a suit. I just felt like nothing. I felt like a small fish. Do you know how gassed I was before? Do you know I feel good. Get there, and everyone's just like, not even bucking an eyelid on you.
Just back to work.
But what I kind of associate with a suit was like, it's a uniform. I'm going to work. Let me get my work mode on. But like, over time it changed. Over time it just got a lot more casual, a lot more comfortable. But I feel like, especially when you go into a new role, you kind of have to have that. It is almost a front. I don't think I could deny it.
I don't know. Again, I'm with you on that sort of professional look. Like when I first started working, for me, I loved the idea of like having a little tie, my cufflinks, my sharp shoes with the little knife edge. I could cut anyone. Laces, everything just like cut
got a tie so you can wrap it around. Where's the coffee? Tell me where the coffee is.
Where is it? But sort of over time, I kind of dress code changed, and now it's more business casual. That like you can wear kind of what you want, and there's been talks about how it just doesn't really give off that professional demeanor, and I've kind of felt it, I guess, internally in a weird way. So like when I kind of wore my suit and my shirt and tie, be on the bus, I'm like,
I'm that guy.
I'm going to work. People like
sweating inside.
People like, I'm not even. I don't even say that. Like, people just like get out my way. I'm like, oh, hi sir. I'm like, sir, okay. Yeah. Like then there's that kind of look of just respect and kind of appreciation. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, this is. I like it. Just walking around town. I'm like, I like this sort of feeling. And then when it kind of changed to sort of business casual, I've given it a try. So like jeans and then like maybe like a decent top, professional top. I just didn't really have that same feeling. I just didn't really feel that kind of professional, I'm going to work and put in the time and work feeling. So I guess there is that kind of psychological aspect, which is quite weird. Because I'm like, it's just clothes. How are the clothes having this much effect?
Like school uniform as well.
But yeah, it's just that kind of like, I guess the clothes kind of have that representation of work and seriousness and putting it in. So for me, there was always that aspect, which is really quite interesting. So now that some people come in business casual, I still kind of go in my like professional kind of look up, and I'm just like, I like this. Yeah. I like it. I bought this clothes. I'm wearing it. I'm not gonna like waste it. Yeah. I like the look.
Yeah.
Like the little. Yeah.
Yeah. For me now, it's just because I know what work is. It's kind of so like I was saying, like I think when you first go into the company, create that impression, go in formal and everything like that. But once you found your feet and you start showing your worth. Like, it doesn't really matter within your office how you dress. Like, even within my office, the people who are at the top and they know everything. They are in like the kind of like polo shirt from Next that's been washed 4,000 times, and they come in with like these kind of shorts, trouser combo with a zip there, and you're like, who are you? But they're to the company, they're everything. Because they got that now. They're like, I just want to be comfortable at work. Like, I come in, I do my work, do my job. My appearance shouldn't really matter. But when you're going through that, so my probation was 6 months when I first started. So it's like, hi, smile at everyone, try and make that contact with everyone, try and be social. As soon as that 6 months passes, and you're just like,
you relax.
Don't relax entirely, but you know, you start stepping back and you don't go to that many socials because really and truthfully, you're just there to work.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
Working in that paper. On that, in terms of sort of probation and kind of navigating the work office, are there things you've kind of picked up and learnt about working environments, people in general? What sort of things have you picked up?
People love to talk. It's yeah, it's a real big thing. Try not to get for me. Don't try and avoid trying to get involved in the whole thing. Be friendly, smile goes a long way.
Do you get involved in like office politics and stuff?
No, I put on my headphones.
Yeah, I've always avoided that. Yeah. I've always one thing I like to do, especially when I'm in like a meeting or whatever, in terms of tactics, and I do usually mean it, is sort of like end of the day, I'm about to leave. If I see the manager still there, I'll be like, oh man, I'm about to leave, but do you need any help with anything? And that one.
Do you see how this looked to you?
Bam.
I'm just like,
do you know how powerful that is? You're always, I'm about to go, but no, I know you've got quite a bit on. Do you need any help? I know you've got a few reports.
Why can't I see you getting down on your knees and sucking my
no,
man?
That
is extra. That is extra.
But no, for me, I'm like, no, run, boy. I said report. I said report. No, I was like, do you need any help with that report? Yo. No. For me,
why are you looking at your
Hey, stop! Yo, this guy, what are you doing? Anton, you need to come outside. I think it's a bit late. You had one too many nachos. The jalapenos just gone to your head. Yo, you're Jesus.
You can't say
I can't even lick my lips. But I'm usually like, oh, do you need any help with that? Whatever. They're like, no, it's cool. But then the next day they'll be like, oh, really thank you for like, or when we have the sort of what are appraisals or whatever, they're like, yeah, I really like the fact that you always offer to help and go that extra mile.
Yeah. And
then like with you with the emails, but instead of me doing it at like 5, I usually do it really early. It's like 7 or 7:15 or 6:45. Then I always get an email. You were in that early. What were you doing? Oh, I was working, Billy.
Yeah.
Just we've got so many reports to do. Oh.
Yeah.
Just it's in a sense it is true. I'm not waking up at 6 a.m. just to send an email, just to send a message. It is I am in early. Let me kind of knock out these emails, get things done, and provide that support. But yeah, and I think the social aspect is also important because what I've been doing is we've obviously got our watering holes. Everyone kind of goes to get a drink of coffee or tea or whatever in the morning, and then before I'd say I was like really shy, but I've been trying to build like my confidence in speaking. So I started challenging myself to speak to more people. So I just randomly speak to people. Hi, can you pass the milk? How's your day? Oh, you're alright. You look tired. Yeah, I had a long day. No, oh, you've been working hard.
No, I had 12 hours sleep. I feel blessed.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. But then there's kind of questions, and I've like kind of made a few, I guess, friends, and I've sort of started to see the benefits. So one guy I started speaking to, he's like sort of camera guy. He's like a senior kind of camera guy. He does all like little videos and promotions and stuff. And then like on 2 separate occasions, and I'm doing an event with him tomorrow, he's like messaged me. He's like, "Oh, I need someone to be in my little movie for the company. Or you need to just walk up and down." No, just no.
There's black people in the office.
Not even like that. Honestly, not. He's like, "Yeah, I want you to be in my little movie." He's like, "Can you do it?" I'm just like, "Yeah." And then I'm now like his like go-to guy, and he's asked me again to do something else tomorrow. So I got to make sure I'm like patterned up nicely. He's like, "Yeah, I know like you're usually quite good with it." And so yeah, there's like those sort of relationships, or again the social aspect of speaking to other people who are like, "I've got a birthday party, I've got this going on. come out, meet these people, and again, I can see how doors are opening. Even when I was doing like my professional exams, I'd speak to people who I'd known from maybe my other team, and they'd be like, "Well, I know this guy who's done it, so he can give you advice, or he can give you."
It goes a long way.
And I'm starting to realize like these connections are deep, and this is just from saying, "How was your day? How you doing?" Just taking like a general interest in someone's day. Something that I think, because I do get that most mornings, especially Monday morning. I don't know about you, but I don't really want to interact with, especially in the morning.
I've been like that for the past 8 months.
That's right. Well, every day or just Monday morning?
Yeah, right now, my office walls, like, I hate them. I actually go in with headphones on.
Really? Oh, right.
Hi, Anton. Just lift up one ear. Yeah, everyone right? Yeah, cool.
Bye. But yeah, I've just kind of started to see, like, Monday mornings, I'm just like, but I'm just making that little effort of just, how you doing? How's your day? I can see how it's gone a long way. But I think, like, you as well now, especially, but I'm more afternoon, so after lunch, my headphones are in. I don't really want to talk, but everyone wants to talk to me when I got my headphones in.
Yeah.
When it's not in, it's cool. But when I've got it in, hey, Ola, how was your weekend? I told you 10 minutes ago. Why are you asking me? Like, just it is. I don't know.
But I feel definitely on reflection, my confidence grew whilst going through the company, especially like the first year, second year, like the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Confidence grew because like there was moments where I was actually going on to like courses and stuff like that, and man would be like, but just questioning them on like technical basis, and I'd be like, whoa, who's this guy? Because back in uni, I wouldn't be that guy, like full of lecture hall. If I had a question, it'd be strewn. There would be no questions. But I'll be like full of like rooms or in rooms with people who've been doing the job for like 10, 15 years. I'm like, So like one thing I could say is be vocal, and if you do find problems, don't just raise the problem. Try and think about a solution. Yeah. Because that's the worst thing you could do is just be that problem person. Just enforce your problems. I think this is wrong.
But what do you think is right? Yeah.
But it's almost like I say I haven't had the most brilliant of manager. Like I've had one great manager who at the time I was looking to leave. I was like out the door, already had another job lined up, and I was like, look, here's my job offer, and I'm about to go. He's like, no, just wait. Everything's going to be okay. And I listened to him. Enough respect to him. But for the other guys, there was no real clear guidance. There was no like, yeah, this is where we're going. But with that, you kind of learn how to be independent. Like you say, okay, you know what the basis of the role is, and you kind of create things of your own, and then you shout about it. So I say definitely like try and remove yourself from going to your manager at that point. If you've got a problem, you've got to go straight to your manager. Try and think of a solution. Can you do the solution? Or even if you can't do the solution, go to your manager and say, this is the problem. Don't try and expect them to come up with a solution. Go, this is the answer. Like, I spent time and I think this is the answer. And then leave it in their corner. And if they don't do anything, just make sure you got an email. Yeah. Then you got evidence. You got your evidence. Everything always traces back to evidence.
But I've got an email right here.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more.
There's
another sheet.
So like even on the kind of basis of appraisal, you ever done 360 feedback?
Yeah, I did it last year. Well, a couple of months ago. How'd you like the concept?
I like it. Okay. I do like it. Because you get other people to say stuff about you. Yeah. And then you kind of find out what you're good at, what you're not good at. One person said that I'm often in the zone and often got my blinkers on, so I kind of ignore certain things. All right, yeah, cool, I take that on board. What can I do that's different? Still working that one out. But it's still good to have. So like, sometimes you just do it off your own back. Just ask several people that you know, can you do some feedback for me? It's for my 360 appraisal or 360 feedback. And then they give it to you. Not everyone's going to do it for you, but it helps. It helps a long way.
With that, I don't know why the aspect of just, I didn't really like it at first, but I was like, okay, I want to do it. I want to kind of hear what people have to say, so I could kind of see what areas need to be improved. I was like, hey team, we really appreciate some 360 feedback. Please just be like, as honest and as objective as you can be. It is obviously for my development, and then they were kind of sending things back, and I just thought it will probably just be, these headphones in too much or whatever. Yeah. But then they had a few sort of like legit reasons of maybe try to be a bit more independent or whatever. There were like a few kind of valid reasons, and I was a bit like, I was like, okay, wow, that's quite interesting, and I'm glad I did it because I
Yeah.
got to see their viewpoint of me.
Mm.
You know, that kind of outside viewpoint of this is how you are from my point of view. This is an area that I feel that you could be improving.
Yeah,
Well,
because
you
there's
could put a
also
bit
ways
more
of doing
energy
it
in.
where it's anonymous, isn't it? So you get someone else to get all the information from all the other people, and then they feed it back to you.
Yeah, then that way it's just purely objective.
Yeah.
You can just, okay, cool, work on these 6 points. All right, cool, 1, 2, 6. What can I do to adjust this or to kind of like address it? All right, cool, cool. And then start from there.
But you did touch on a bit of just being a human being. I think this is a part that's always ignored quite a lot in the workplace. And it's part of the reason why for the past 8 months I've been like, I can't stand this place because it hasn't really felt human. It'd be like the first thing someone will say to you is, oh, have you seen that email? You're like, whoa.
Like, hi,
yeah. Hi, how you doing? How's your day been? Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. It's boom. I'm like, ooh, don't really like this. So like often when people come up to me, especially like my project managers, when they come up to me, like I try and build that kind of rapport with them. Just like, oh, how you doing? Yeah, how's the kids? Everyone good? Yeah. Do you want to go and get a coffee before we actually go into the talk? Because like we're just there as a resource, but we're actually human. You know, human resource, whatever you want to see it as, like try and build those kind of human connections, even if it's a smile, a hello, anyone, hold that door and say thank you. You know,
I get kind of basic human interaction.
Yeah.
And then you kind of sometimes you do lose that in the workplace. Like I don't know if you have this at your workplace. There's some people who are just very non-human. So like you said, it's that person who was, have you seen the email? Have you done this? And it's like,
damn.
Work starts at 9. It's 7:45. Like you said, how was your day? Like, you are human.
Yeah.
You are John or Michael before you are an employee of this X company. This company's taking all your time for a little paycheck, and you're just there like worshipping. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
You know, live your life. There's more to it than just emails and kind of like that. Just that 9 to 5 hustle. And just like I remember, this was months or like a year ago, on Snapchat. Someone must have been on their way to work, and they kind of got off the train, and then they kind of Snapchatted the view, and it made me sick. So basically, it's a Snapchat, 10 seconds of basically all these people coming off the platform to kind of get out to work, and then everyone's in like their suits and stuff, and then literally then this was in London, I think it was Central Victoria. Everyone, I don't know what happened, everyone's like literally head was like this.
Boom.
And all you could literally hear was like you could just hear the marching of the feet, and then like there was the rat picture, and the person wrote rat race, and I was like, nah.
It is a rat race.
And it was just, especially after having read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad, it really kind of like resonated, and I was just like, is this what it's like? Is it this bad? It was in London, but I'm just like, rah, this is, and just the thought of everyone just giving their life energy. I don't think people really look into, and so this is me just kind of going off, I don't think people really understand the concept that you are giving your time, the one most valuable asset you have, the one asset that you cannot get back. Yes, you're getting paid. That money's going to get spent. Guess what? You're going to get more at the end of the month, or the next month, or whatever else. The hours you've put in, that it's gone. Like you can't. There's no refunds. There's no. And people just. I think a lot of people don't understand that. People get into a job. Once they're in that routine, they just get stuck, and it's the next 40 years. It's just working and working, and again, I understand people have to pay bills, but it's just you give. It's quite a saddening thought. It is quite a saddening thought, and I think it's important for people to just understand that there are different avenues and ways out there of working.
Yeah, you just got to try and find your path, really. And that's the hard thing about it, because you're saying this that you could be doing it for years upon years, but someone could truly enjoy their job. Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, if that's the case, if they enjoy it, like more power to them. But I think people still need to spend a bit more time chasing or finding that passion, something that you would honestly be happy with.
But that's a difficult aspect in itself. Like
finding it,
finding your passion.
Yeah.
Like until that point, what else should you do?
Until then, obviously grind. Sure. But I think the importance is in making the effort to find it. Because for me, it's coming on a Monday. How was your weekend? What did you do? Nothing. No, what did you do? I went home on Friday night. Yeah. That was it. Okay, Saturday, Sunday, what happened? Movies, bed, wow.
But you got to be careful with that, because you know how I was saying when you point the finger, there's 3 things going back. So no, but I mean, on reflection, if I was to say, Ola, How was your weekend?
But with me, there's always, again, just using me as an example, I'm not saying they have to do what I'm doing, but there is not that chase for anything. It's kind of like, and it's weird because mainly with the ones who are like 35 plus, it's kind of like they've lost like passion, or it's just like dead inside kind of. Because no, I mean, this is me just kind of being observant. It's asking questions. There's no passion. There's no.
What do you do on the weekend? I did my shed and I took things to the dump.
If that, and it's in the tone as well. So it's just like raw. Like okay, I don't know what's going on in your life, but for me, it's like there's many people, and it's like you're not all going through the exact same thing at the exact same time. What is it? Why? That kind of and for me, because obviously there's maybe it's the age or whatever, I don't know, but there's a bit more passion of trying to find that kind of thing I'd definitely love to do rest of my life, trying to find that passion, trying to find things to do to make me money or to bring me joy, and just coming in on that Monday morning and everyone's like sad, and then it's that rat race, and then everyone's just miserable. How was your weekend? Fine. Enjoy the coffee, and then it's like I want to be me. I just want to be surrounded by people who have a bit more energy. How was your weekend? My weekend was amazing. I'm so glad you asked. I spent some quality time with my kids. We baked some cupcakes. I got one for you. Thank you, John. Where is it? I ate it.
People still have that, but I guess because like people bring in cupcakes that they made with their kids. Right? It's just like, yeah, me and the kids, we done this. A lot of their stories is like evolved around their kids, and I think that's probably something that we can't really, relate to, because weekend does become being that taxi, dropping little kid off to a party and then collecting them and everything else like that. So, what was your weekend like? Not a lot. Just did some things around the house.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess just finding a balance with anything in life, innit? Work, happiness. Well, happiness is a journey. So, I'm sure they're actually pretty thankful that it's the weekend. They actually enjoy the weekend. It's just the thought of, here we go, another Monday.
Do you feel like weekends go really quick now?
Weekends have always gone quick. I've always had that complex with time. By Saturday, I'm hyperventilating. It's Monday already. Saturday. It's Saturday at 4 p.m.
No, I know.
Sundays are right off anyway.
I'm just like, I don't know. It's annoying because even like, I was speaking to my dad yesterday, and he was like, oh, how you doing? How's your weekend? And I was like, Dad, I don't even think I had a weekend. And he was laughing. He was just like,
my son.
Yeah, he was like, welcome to weekend.
I don't like.
He's like, that's how it is. It's like, yeah, that's kind of how it is. It's like Saturday is your only real day, because I think a lot of people see Sunday as like a
I've made Fridays. Friday evening. Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of people kind of go for like that drink, to kind of really just
what a week.
drink it away. Yeah. But with Sundays, like a lot of people say it gets written off. And I think it's because everyone thinks about Monday. They spend a lot of it just
it's like discipline. You got to be in bed at a certain time. You got to work to it. It's literally a crime. It's just frustrating. It's just like, why is it like this? Why is life like this?
Oh my God.
But taking it back to the work environment, for me, smile, try and be friendly, try and have those human conversations. One little tip that I learned, and I don't know where I learned it from, it's about positioning when you're in like a meeting. So try and be vocal in meetings. Try and say something, even if it's just a recap of what someone else has said. But always sit on the right-hand side of your manager.
Where's that?
I can't remember, but I think it's something to do with the way that we listen, and sometimes we process better from the right side of our brain. So if you say something more meaningful, it adds more weight as opposed to someone who sits on the left hand side.
This guy's mad tactical.
I watched some mad program. It's like some program with Sky One like 6 years ago, and it's always stuck in my brain. So like, if you ever see me in a setting, like I always try and sit to the right of someone who's like who's an influence. So now I told you that we're going to be fighting for chairs. But cool.
No, I have had something similar, but this was for like presenters on like TV shows or anchors. It's like the person on the left. I think it's the left or right or whatever. They're like, that's the like power position. I think it was the right
so you got power poses as well, which is key. Strike that Superman pose. Be confident. Like even if you're not confident, try and be confident in office. Don't show. Obviously, show that you're learning, you're struggling sometimes, but just take it on board. Just try and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to struggle, and also just know when to reach out.
Yeah, that one took me a while. So me and manager have been having that discussion. So with my role as an analyst, certain aspects are very technical, and I'd probably sit there for like a couple hours just trying to figure it out, and then like he'll just show me and do it in like a couple minutes. Yeah. And I'm just there like I'm like, oh, thank you. At the same time, I'm just like, move, man. Like, why are you? He's like, okay, Ola, I can see your frustration. He's like, you need to understand. I've been doing this for 17 or 15 years. Like, this is my life. Like, back on my hand.
I do my job.
Yeah. He's like, this is ABC for me. He's like, but remember, I've been doing this for 10 plus years. And he does sort of explain it, which is fair. Like, my colleagues who've been there for 3 or 4 years still ask him for help. Fair enough, they've been there for years, but again, a lot of the stuff is stuff we haven't necessarily covered. He's like, look, you've been there for a year and a bit, you're doing really well, like, we promoted you, given you a raise in like a shorter time than we've given these other guys, like, you are good, sort of thing. Don't get kind of like beaten up. So I think that's a really good one, to not be afraid to raise your hand. I don't understand. Raise your hand, can I have some help? I don't get it. It's better for you to do it a bit slower, but do it correctly, then rush it and do it incorrectly, and then that kind of causes problems, whether it's like cost efficiency or delayed release of like a project. So just understanding the task you've been given and just executing correctly.
For sure. But I think that covers the office environment, or the start.
Just to start in the sort of office environment. But that's I quite like the one about sitting on the right side.
I'm trying to think if there's any others. Little tips.
But, the one I mentioned about, if you do come in early, send little emails. Even if it's just general chit chat, just people always look at the time, and it honestly does say a lot. It does say a lot, and also obviously offering help sort of towards the end of the day when everyone's burnt out, everyone's tired, and you're just there like, does anyone need help? Is this guy? I'm not even gonna go there. When you offer help, and you obviously mean it, it just kind of gives off that. Yeah, this guy's got energy. He's down for the team.
So like, you work in a team, right?
Yeah.
So do you often say we did this for stuff that you've done?
It depends. No, if it's me, I'll be like, it's me.
Yeah, because that's another thing that I've learned in the later years, that you got to brag about what you've done. You can't say we, because there was no we when you was working at, or even if you was in super early, there's no we, it's I. So you've got to say, I completed this with assistance from every now and again, if it's a team thing, but make sure that your stamp's over it. So that there was an aspect in terms of my previous role where it was like checking what systems are vulnerable to hackers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that was me. I didn't say anyone else.
It was me. I
didn't say anyone else.
It was all me.
Like, but it was when I was there mapping it all out, and I was spending like 2 months every day just behind, working 2 hours each day, like behind my actual work hours. No one else was there. Bye, Anton. See you later, Anton. Cheers. Bye. You gonna go now? No, I just got to quickly do this. All right, take care. No one else was there. So when I finished, I wouldn't say we did this. I said I.
You didn't take full credit for that.
I. ANTON. So yeah, take credit. Take credit.
I like that.
Put up your hand for help. Take credit. Put up your hand for help.
That's beautiful. But yeah, I think that is us for another episode. Nice, short and sweet one. I like that. But yeah, definitely want to hear any like tips or tactics or tricks you've learned, like within the office, around the office, any interesting aspects your like company has. Just kind of like shout out to us on all platforms and kind of let us know what is going on.
Damn right, damn skippy. Check us out on Twitter, the Facebook, also on YouTube.
That's right, and